Hey, baseball fans. The 2025 MLB Trade Deadline is about to turn the playoff race upside down. We're diving deep into the blockbuster trades that could define the second half of the season. Which teams are gearing up for a World Series run, and who's shaking things up? Stick around to find out. Hit that like button and subscribe for more MLB content to keep you in the game. The July 31, 2025 Trade Deadline is the final shot for teams to make major roster moves, with August waiver trades a thing of the past. This year, the playoff race is tighter than ever. Only 8 teams are more than 7 games out of a wild card spot, making sellers hard to come by and the trade market red hot. Contenders are desperate to bolster their lineups, rotations, and bullpens, while others might cash in for future assets. With so many teams still in the hunt, which trades will make or break the second half? Let's break it down. Let's start with the buyers, teams looking to load up for October. New York Yankees, they're in a dogfight in the AL East, but their infield needs a spark, especially at third base, where DJ LeMahieu's struggles have been glaring. They're eyeing a big name like Eugenio Suarez from the Diamondbacks, who's been crushing it with a .925 OPS since July 2024. Ryan McMahon from the Rockies or Ke'Bryan Hayes from the Pirates could also fit, with Jazz Chisholm Jr. sliding to second base to make room. A move like this could lock in their lineup and make them favorites to take the division. Astros. After losing Kyle Tucker and Alex Bregman, their lineup lacks a left-handed punch. They're targeting a second baseman like Brendan Donovan from the Cardinals or Brandon Lowe from the Rays. Either could add balance and pop, complementing their stellar pitching staff led by Framber Valdez. A trade here could keep them atop the AL West and push them deep into the playoffs. Kansas City Royals. Their outfield has been the weakest in baseball, with just 14 homers and a 50 WAR+C+. A power bat like Luis Robert Jr. from the White Sox could be a game-changer, giving them the offensive boost needed to overtake the Twins or Rays for a wild-card spot. New York Mets. With Sean Manaea and Kodai Senga back in the rotation, they're hunting for left-handed relief pitching to shore up their bullpen. A name like Caleb Ferguson from the Pirates could make their late innings lights out, setting them up for a deep NL East run. Now, the sellers. Teams looking to trade veterans for prospects or future pieces. Marlins. They're in rebuild mode, and their biggest chip is Sandy Alcántara. The 2022 NL Cy Young winner has had a rough return from Tommy John surgery with an 7.22 ERA, but his 97.2 mile/ph fastball and 49.7% ground ball rate scream potential. A contender like the Yankees or Mets could take a chance on him, betting on a second-half rebound. His contract, with control through 2027, makes him a premium asset. Baltimore Orioles. Despite a strong farm system, they might sell off expiring contracts to reload for 2026. Zach Eflin, Cedric Mullins, and Ryan O'Hearn are all candidates to move, with O'Hearn's line against righties drawing interest from teams like the Red Sox. Their closer, Felix Bautista, under control through 2027, could fetch a massive haul if they decide to shake things up. Pittsburgh Pirates. They're not out of the wild card race, but they could move veterans like Andrew Heaney or Isaiah Kiner-Falefa to clear payroll. Even Ke'Bryan Hayes, with his elite defense but inconsistent bat, could be dangled for a younger hitter to jumpstart their offense. And then there are the opportunistic teams that could go either way. Tampa Bay Rays, masters of the trade game. They could move Brandon Lowe to balance their payroll while staying competitive. These trades could reshape the playoff picture. If the Yankees land a third baseman like Suarez, their infield gets a major upgrade, making them a serious threat to win the AL East over the Red Sox or Orioles. The Royals adding a bat like Luis Robert Jr. could give them the edge to leapfrog the Twins or Rays in the wild-card race. Texas Rangers. They're getting healthy, with Jacob deGrom back and Nathan Eovaldi returning. If they hold on to Adolis Garcia, their offense could carry them to a wild card spot. Braves. Despite losing Chris Sale, they have Ronald Acuna Jr. and Spencer Strider rounding into form. A strong second half could make them NL wildcard contenders. Detroit Tigers. Already on a 100-win pace, leading the AL Central, adding a reliever like David Bednar could lock down their bullpen and make them a postseason lock. So which trade will have the biggest impact on the second half? Will it be Alcantara landing with a contender like the Mets? Suarez powering up the Yankees? Or maybe a surprise deal we haven't seen coming? Drop your predictions in the comments. Which trade shakes up the playoffs the most? Let's hear it. Also, tell us who your team should target before the deadline. Get in on the action. The 2025 trade deadline is about to decide who's hoisting the World Series trophy and who's watching from home. From blockbuster deals to sneaky moves, the second half is going to be wild. Subscribe for MLB updates, hit that notification bell, and let us know in the comments which team you're rooting for in the playoffs. See you next time, baseball fans.